So you may think you're an expert at reading through lenses, which of course I think you are, but let's see how well you do when reading through lenses for word choice. Last week we looked at textual evidence, and now we're going to shake it up a bit. Word choice lenses, there are only 3. So you're going to look for words that evoke, words that reveal style, or particular kinds of words. For words that evoke, you can see you're looking for strong emotions, strong images, or a clear idea. When you're looking for words that reveal style, you want to find words that suggest an informal tone. Informal is when the narrator uses words to suggest that he or she is speaking to a friend, that the two of you are good buddies and pals and you can say whatever you want. Versus a formal tone, which you might use if you're speaking to an adult and you're very cautious and careful about what you're saying. If you think about what you would wear for formal attire, like a tuxedo, a suit, or a prom gown, formal tone is very polished, grammatically correct language. And a clear voice. The third lens is the particular kinds of words. This could get real icky depending on how well you do or do not know your nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. So we'll be putting some of those grammatical terms and knowledge to the test again. You can see below how you will fill out this graphic organizer, but we're not doing that right now. You're just going to be reading and highlighting words that evoke, words that reveal style, and particular kinds of words. Read along as I read the first 2 paragraphs of Chapter 1, Beat by an Underhand Girl, the gene-free model of expertise. As you're reading, see if you can find any words or phrases that evoke strong emotions, strong images, or a clear idea. And you can highlight or underline them if you like. The American League team was deep in a hole, and National League slugger Mike Piazza was up to bat. So they called for the ringer. Sauntering past a phalanx of the world's best hitters, Jenny Finch strode toward the sun-drenched infield, her flaxen hair blazing in the clear desert light. For the previous 24 years, the Pepsi All-Star softball game had been an event contested by Major League Baseball players only. The crowd thrummed with excitement as the 6' 1" Team USA softball ace reached the pitcher's mound and curled her fingers around the ball. I'm going to now highlight or underline the words that I found in these 2 paragraphs that evoked strong emotions, strong images, or a clear idea. So you can see in pink where I've underlined the words or phrases that I felt showed strong emotions, strong images, or a clear idea. Deep in a hole. This shows a strong emotion to me that the American League team was losing. Mike Piazza, if you don't know, was one of the most famous hitters of all time in baseball, and he is now up to bat. This creates an image for me of him getting ready at home plate. It also might strike some emotions if you know who he is. It might build some suspense in this story. Sauntering is a specific type of walk. It's describing how Jenny Finch is walking out to the pitcher's mound. She strode. She's not rushing. She's walking slowly. She's confident. These are showing me some emotions and ideas. It also describes the sun-drenched infield. It's sunny. I might imagine that it's hot. It's bright. Her flaxen hair, I don't know what she looks like, but she must have light-colored hair, is blazing, it's shining in the clear desert light. We also have the word contested, which suggests competition, or that there was an argument, or somebody or something is against something. And we have the crowd thrumming with excitement. This is suggesting emotions of joy and happiness. People are excited. I can imagine them maybe stomping in the bleachers, cheering and shouting. 6'1". This is describing how tall Jenny is. That's very tall. And she reaches the pitcher's mound, which I know what that looks like, and then I can picture her curling her fingers around the ball. So in those just 2 little paragraphs there, we have tons of words that are creating strong images and evoking strong emotions. I believe that the author is really trying to sort of build up some suspense here and really get the reader to question, why is Jenny Finch, an all-star softball pitcher, pitching to Mike Piazza, and what's going to happen? All right, let's read on. We're going to look at the next couple paragraphs for words that reveal style. In these 2 paragraphs, we're going to look for words that reveal style. Remember, we're looking for informal tone, formal tone, and or a clear voice. You can highlight or underline any words that you think suggest any of these 3 while I read these 2 paragraphs. It was a temperate day in Cathedral City, California, 70 degrees in the replica of one of America's own sports cathedrals. The 3/4 scale imitation of the Chicago Cubs' Wrigley Field was faithful in its ivy-covered outfield walls. Even Wrigleyville's brick apartment buildings were there in the desert at the foot of the Santa Rosa Mountains, depicted on near life-size vinyl prints created from photographs of Chicago. Finch, who in a few months would win a gold medal at the 2004 Olympics, had originally been invited only as a member of the American League coaching staff. That is, until the American League Stars went down 9-1 in the 5th inning. I'm now going to underline all of the words that I found that would suggest the tone or a clear voice. Okay, what I see here is a little bit of an informal tone mixed with a formal tone. In the first word, temperate, which suggests a formal tone, he later then explains that what he means is 70 degrees. So he starts with formal when he says temperate, but then goes to informal when he says 70 degrees. The next few words also suggest a formal tone: replica and sports cathedrals. Cathedrals in itself is formal, yet a sports cathedral would be informal. He's referring there to the baseball fields. An imitation, I would think more of an informal word than replica or cathedral. Let's see. There are some other comparisons between informal and formal in that second paragraph. It says Finch had originally been invited only as a member. To me, that sounds formal. And then when he begins the second sentence with that is also a formal tone. However, he ends on a very informal tone when he says went down 9-1 in the 5th inning. So one could ask the question, why is the author flip-flopping and going back and forth between an informal and a formal tone? What might his purpose there be? Think about that one. Turn your page, and we're going to read one more paragraph together, and I'll show you how to highlight to find kinds of words. In this last paragraph, I'm going to highlight particular kinds of words. Now, it could be very time-consuming to sit through a text and highlight every noun, every verb, every adjective, and every adverb. So I think what I'm going to do is stick to nouns and adjectives. As you read your sections, you can choose whether to do nouns and verbs, or verbs and adjectives, or just adjectives, as long as you have at least one of those particular kinds of words. Let's see what I come up with. No sooner did Finch arrive at the mound than the defensive players behind her sat down. Yankees infielder Aaron Boone took his glove off, lay down in the dirt, and used second base for a pillow. Texas Rangers all-star Hank Blaylock took the opportunity to get a drink of water. They had, after all, seen Finch pitch during batting practice. I've highlighted the nouns in pink, or underlined them in pink, and underlined the adjectives in blue. This is easier to look at when you highlight. My program here won't let me highlight. But if you look at all the pink words, you see a lot of sports words, base, practice, player, but we see some, and mound, we see some others, we see some names, Finch, Aaron Boone, Hank Blaylock, and then a few other words, opportunity, pillow, drink of water. If you look at the adjectives, we again see a lot of adjectives describing baseball words. Defensive, Yankees infielder, second base, Texas Rangers all-star, and batting. I think the use of these words suggests the idea that the author still is trying to build some suspense. Again, he's trying to recreate that image of Jenny Finch pitching to Mike Piazza and building the idea in the reader of what's going to happen. For the remainder of your homework tonight, what I want you to do is read from this point where it says, as part of the pregame festivities, up to finished befuddling major leaguers, and highlight words that evoke strong emotions, strong images, or a clear idea. Then I want you to read from where it says, in 2004 and 2005, up to the next page. You're going to read up to no one's going to make a fool out of me, and identify words that reveal style. And then you'll read up to here where it says crystal ball, and in that last section you'll highlight particular kinds of words. Remember that for the particular kinds of words to focus on one or two parts of speech. Nouns and verbs, nouns and adjectives, verbs and adjectives, adverbs. You choose which two. One or two, no more than two, because that will take you too long. All right, so 3 sections. The first section, words that evoke. The second section, words that reveal style. And the third one is particular kinds of words. Please make sure that you bring these pages with your highlighting. That's all you need to do is highlight to class tomorrow so you're ready to do the next step.